And good afternoon, for the Gator fans. Welcome to the Swampcast pregame show. We didn't do one last week, I believe. Listen, we're all over the place. Listen, the most important thing is that the Florida Gators won the football game. First half got me kind of iffy, but of course, Tennessee did their Tennessee things, and that was perfectly fine. Listen, I'm not going to say much about it. A win is a win. First conference game now on the road, guys, at Lexington. We know how not difficult, but how I guess entertaining the games can be. There things can swing, in the first half, or Florida can be up 10, and then Kentucky makes it a game in the final 5 minutes, and then we all have to start praying that they miss field goals like they normally do. But Kelsey, let's go ahead with you. So, what are you looking forward to in today's game? And are we going to see AR-15 finally? Right? It's been what, 2-3 weeks? I guess that hamstring was really serious. He's been cleared by the medical staff, and he keeps doing backflips, but Dan Mullen just doesn't want to unleash him.
I think he'll play today. Obviously, Emery's still starting. I think he'll be a difference in this game. Kentucky hasn't really impressed me at all so far. I mean, they barely beat Chattanooga. They only beat South Carolina by 6 points. And, I mean, they don't have, any meaningful wins so far. I'm looking at the first half, I think, will be tight. I do think second half we're definitely going to end up winning by hopefully 2 touchdowns. But I'm looking forward to our offense playing well. I don't think we'll have an issue, but our defense, I'm a little worried just because Kentucky has a really good wide receiver, Robinson. So there might be something big in the first half with them, but I don't think it's not going to last the whole game. And every time we do go to Lexington lately, it is close. So I think it'll be very stressful in the first half. The second half, I don't think so.
Very, very true. We're also joined by Gators superfan D, who's still riding high after his Monday night victory over my Eagles, which I'm still trying to figure out if we even game plan for that game, besides our damn head coach wearing a shirt that says "Beat Dallas." So I still don't even know what the hell that was about. I think that actually
not high school, bro.
I think that made a lot of Cowboy guys pretty upset. Listen, I'm just glad that Dan Mullen's not getting off the plane heading towards Kentucky saying "beat cats" or some crap like that. What are you looking forward to our first road game in the SEC, my man?
On offense, I'm looking for us. We're first in the league in rushing, so that crowd's gonna be obnoxious, crazy, loud. The best way to silence the crowd is to take their will, like Georgia did Arkansas. Just run them in the trenches and just take their manhood. And obviously make big plays, run the ball, but conversely, we can't turn the ball over and give up big plays because that's going to fuel the crowd. So, I think we're going to use that offensive line, use our three-headed running backs. I expect Mullen to have a nice game plan for Emory, and if AR-15 plays, which I'm still not convinced he is, because I think a hamstring is a 3 to 6 week injury, man. That's not something you come back from very easily. So, I'll believe it when I see it. But I think Mullen will have a nice game plan, get the running backs involved, use our athletes. So, and I just think Kentucky, they have -9 turnover ratio, so they will put the ball in harm's way, and I expect our defense to capitalize.
Yeah, with hamstrings injuries, listen, we've all played sports, right? We've kind of tweaked it, maybe injured it. We all know that one bad push, one bad jump, that could probably linger for longer. But I'm with you, D. Today, the defense is the time once again to go out and eat. I haven't seen. Listen, I want more turnovers made. I want more sacks. I want more tackles for losses. I want more third down conversions. Get your asses off the field. Give your team on offense more possessions, right? Because what I'm saying. Listen, I think Emory Jones is on a high right now, and if he's going to be their guy, I want my man to have as many possessions as possible, right? Because it's quite clear that, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, that loss to Alabama still has me a little bit gutted, but we learned a lot from this team then, right? We also knew that the season wasn't over, right? It was just the third week of the season. You got so much football left. We watched Georgia today. However, though, listen, true SEC fans knew what Arkansas was. All these damn media people hyped this game with Arkansas and Georgia like if it was the next biggest thing in the month of October, but yet they all forgot that Florida plays Georgia at the end of the month. So just those things that said, guys, relax, calm down. Listen, credit to Arkansas, but listen, they came back to reality today. You said something important. Being on the road, getting there and smashing somebody in the mouth. We just saw Ole Miss go almost 90, 80 yards down the field, went for it on 4th down, got no points, and now Alabama's at home on offense, heading the other way. The Gators got to do the best thing possible not to get this card in this game. I'm not saying it's going to be a factor, but listen, we've seen games in Lexington. Okay, Kentucky gets a first down. It's like the best thing says fried chicken or whatever. It's like to them it's like great. It's freaking terrific. It's awesome. But yeah, listen, the offense has to be able to score points, man. I don't want to see field goals today. Same thing with, like I just said, with the defense. Go out there, create turnovers. We need those sacks again. I guess so, Kelsey. Then I'll go to you next. What should the Todd Grantham game plan be? Should it be attack at full mode, or should it be attack and then wait to see what the counter punch is? You know what I mean? Because we saw with Alabama, we got our asses whooped in the first half or the first quarter, and then once adjustments were made, everything was to settle. I'm not going to talk about FAU and USF and maybe Tennessee a little bit because they were getting kind of rolling too in the first half, and once the second half started and the adjustments were made, it kind of died down a little bit. What do you expect from the defense going forward against them?
I think we need to attack right away. We can't. I mean, I know we love doing slow starts, but we really can't. I think if we end up like the way Tennessee came out when it was 14-10, I mean, I always knew we were going to win that game, but a big touchdown, they had 75-yard touchdown. I mean, we can't do that. So I really hope we come out strong. The whole game, it's a road game. Kentucky fans are very excited. It's obviously not as loud as the Swamp, but it's still going to be intense. So we need to be strong from the start.
Yeah, and I think the main thing that we also have to remember is we got a young team in the back end. I don't mind creating turnovers, which is great. I don't mind committing penalties, but just boneheaded plays where your guy goes 80 yards down the field, those are things that in the film room you should have been coached on, and those are things that on the practice field, that's why you're out there, just to make sure that those things will happen. D, what are your keys to victory for today?
I actually did some research. The last 4 times we played Kentucky, they've outrushed us. The only exception was 2017. We gained 183 yards. They obviously beat us in 2018. They had 303 yards. I just think, Kentucky wants to shorten the game. Mark Stoops, I don't follow Kentucky recruiting that much, but the last 3 or 4 years we played them, they've had success running ball. And I mentioned this on the timeline. Chris Rodriguez, a guy, he concerns me a lot. He has 513 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's averaging 6 yards a carry. We've got to slow him down. I expect Grantham to stop the run and make this quarterback beat you over the top. If he can do it, then we'll adjust. But I can't have Grantham backing up and letting Kentucky excel at what they do, which is run the ball, shorten the game, get the crowd involved. We've got to make them do what they don't want to do.
Yeah, D, and I think the last thing that as Gator fans we want is for them to have success with the running game, because that's going to open up the passing game. And I just mentioned the young guys that are going to be on the field today. First true road game, conference game, prime time on the road. Those are things that you as a true freshman or a freshman, those are things that you want to be a part of, but you also know there's going to be a learning curve, right? So I don't want them to all of a sudden have to put, the whole pressure on them if, unfortunately we can't stop the run. I don't think we'll have issues with that. I think maybe they'll gain success a little bit, and then once we're able to kind of know what, which plays they love to run and which swing ways and things like that. But I don't think our D-line should have an issue going forward, again, after the first quarter or even the first couple of drives to see how Kentucky wants to do it. Kelsey, should we see Anthony Richardson tonight? I love asking you about Anthony Richardson because you always tweet about him. Should we see Anthony Richardson tonight in this game?
Like Dee was saying, it does take 3 to 6 weeks. I guess we just lost him. It does take 3 to 6 weeks to come back from a hamstring injury, and it's hard to believe Mullen because he does always say, "Oh, he's cleared," blah blah blah. But for some reason, I feel like he will play. I don't know how much he'll play, but I think we'll use him in special cases, I guess, when we're, doing our play calling is not as conservative. We're trying to do something different, and maybe it'll throw off Kentucky. But I just don't know how much I think he'll play a little bit, if he plays at all.
Awesome.
So,
All right, guys. So let's quickly go to our scoring predictions before the internet cuts down on D over here because I guess the Kentucky fans are trying to cut a signal off. D, what is
Yeah.
your score prediction
Calipari.
for Calipari? Jesus.
No,
What is your
I
score
only care
prediction
about
for tonight?
Kentucky during college basketball season. I don't care about Kentucky. I only care about them when we play them in basketball. They beat us one time in 33 years. Get out of here with this fake hype.
Kelsey, what's your score and prediction?
well, now seeing today that Tennessee beat Missouri easily, 50, or they were up 55-17, and Kentucky.
By the way, hold on. By the way, is Missouri really that bad? I have not watched a single snap of the football.
Their defense is really bad. I don't know about their offense.
Because to give up 55 points,
they're worse tackling than Miami.
Ooh,
well, that's saying something.
Damn, that's like so. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that is really bad.
I think it'll be close in the first half. Maybe Kentucky or Florida, it'll be like a touchdown, maybe 17-10 or something. But I think in the second half, we'll end up winning like 38-17.
38-17. Awesome. So listen on offense. I just want to see what D kind of mentioned. Run the football down their throats. I want to see the Pierce, Davis, Carroll City show. Just run it up there, sweeps, dives, tosses, crackbacks, RPOs. I don't care. You need to be able to just establish yourself as, guess what? We are a running football team first, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this week makes it even better because in a couple of weeks, we know it's the big-ass game that we got in Jacksonville, and we're going to have to know how to run the football going then, without question, right? So I think it all starts today going towards that goal. Got to rush for over. I want to see over at least $150, man. If we hit 200, that's great. But when I say $150 and 200, I'm not talking Emory Jones scrambling. I'm not talking about Anthony Richardson scrambling. That to me is just a side. I want to see our running backs, which then telling me that our offensive line is getting up there, hitting somebody in the mouth and pushing people out of the way. That's exactly what I want to see. So I'm going to go with 38-17. I don't know if that was the same score as
Same as me, yeah.
Yeah, I think in the first half it'll be back and forth, but somehow in the second quarter, it's just the dominance that we're going to have up front on defense, and I think the offense just finds its rhythm, right? Its rhythm going, and Emory Jones just plays the way that he's been in the second half in the last two games against Alabama, Tennessee, right? So that to me is kind of my thoughts and whatnot. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with that score. G, any final thoughts before we close it out?
I'm gonna go either 31-20 or 34-20. I think we like Kelsey said, it's like you guys said, it's going to be close. You know, Kentucky's going to make some plays, going to score some points. They're at home. It's no need to get alarmed. But at the end, we have the better athletes. As long as we don't turn over the ball, which is key to fuel the team and the crowd, we should be all right. So, I expect us to handle business, man. It's a business trip. You know, like I say, their fans are going to be fired up, but we're the better team. So I expect us, to handle business.
And this is not basketball. This is football.
No.
Kelsey, any final words?
One thing I know, Dee mentioned a little bit on it. I really do think turnovers will make a big difference today. Kentucky averages 3 turnovers a game. We also haven't had a pick six, I think, in 2 or 3 years. So that would be great if we could do that.
You're right. We didn't have a single one last year, and we haven't had one this year. So you're right.
Yes.
I'll take any turnover at this point.
Well, it's true because we just committed our first turnover, last week? Right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Man, that can't happen on a SEC defense, man. What is this, dude? What are we doing? All right, you know what? I'm not going to give Todd Grantham any shit. I'm just trying to see. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. So we'll try to see if we do a post-game show or not. But yeah, listen, the game is at 6:00, ESPN primetime. Should be fun. Listen, let's just go out there, get this game, and get out. We know that Canes fans are still reeling with what happened the other night. Listen, let's be a little grown up about the situation and realize that they're not on our level. Absolutely. And Florida State.
I'm not going to be grown up about it.
Me neither. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.